Hey guys, Wrestling Throwdown here. I'm Haley and we got Joe back with us tonight. We missed him last week.
That's
Um,
right. Founder of the Wrestling Throwdown is back, and we are ready to kick some ass and talk some Rusky review. 3 weeks away from WrestleMania, baby.
well, I think I'm gonna have a different opinion on our last night's Raw. I know a lot of people enjoyed it. I was one of those people who really thought it was quite boring, except for two or three key moments. I don't know about you. I don't know if you thought it was boring. I didn't think it had much there.
I thought a few promos were good, but I didn't think it was like an epic countdown to WrestleMania kind of Raw. I thought it had its weak points.
Yeah. Alrighty, well, we start off first with the Authority promo, and pretty much everyone's talking about how they're happy Randy's back, and pretty much the whole Authority out except for Triple H and Stephanie, and they were pretty much saying that, they're happy he's back and everything, and he belongs with the Authority. And then Randy, gets into it and he starts making fun of him and saying that, like, oh, you're a bunch of kiss asses and everything like that, and saying that, I'm sure you enjoyed this, Kane and Big Show, he took them down, saying that they're pretty much old now, and they were good, and now it's just like no one cares about them anymore.
Well, that's the elephant in the room.
And so, that was pretty much it, and then obviously saying that he was joking, and then Rollins said that him and Randy would take care of Roman Reigns later on in the night.
I
And
love how
obviously we knew something was going to happen. At first I thought maybe they were going to drag it and not have it happen at WrestleMania. I thought maybe he was going to cause or whatever, cost, yeah, I guess, yeah, you want to say that, cost Seth money in the bank briefcase, obviously cash in at WrestleMania. That's what I thought was going to happen. Then their feud was going to happen. I thought that was going to be his punishment, but obviously not. Obviously that they are going with the WrestleMania match. It just took longer for the feud to actually,
And honestly, I think this match needs to happen because there's not a lot of matches. I don't know about you, Haley. There's not a lot of matches I'm excited about on this WrestleMania card.
Yeah.
Kind of very cluster, and an X Factor match with two great workers and Orton and Rollins. And you could have Jon Stewart involved to have a celebrity factor as well. We don't really have much celebrity factor going into this WrestleMania. Perhaps Jon Stewart could provide an element of that in this match. I think actually Seth's done great with the whole storyline with Jon Stewart, and I think it's helped the character. And so, I mean, I think they made the right decision here. I hated how they were dragging their asses on it.
Yeah, and I mean, I know they did that because they wanted more people to watch WrestleMania and get involved and everything like that. So, I mean, I don't know if it really worked, but there's that.
There is that.
Daniel Bryan versus Bad News Barrett. Now, this whole Intercontinental ladder match is amazing. It's shaping up to be really great. I mean, obviously, at first we thought Dean and Wade were just going to have a rematch, and then maybe we thought maybe it was going to be a triple threat, then a fatal four-way, and then it turned into this huge thing. And obviously, this is their replacement for Money in the Bank that they used to have at WrestleMania. So, I mean, it makes sense. Obviously, if they can really pull this out, I think this is going to be a great match, one. And I feel like they should start doing this more often at WrestleMania. Have a great ladder match for a title or something like that. I mean, that was like one of the best things about WrestleMania was the Money in the Bank.
Yeah, and I miss that. I hate how it turned into its own pay-per-view. I really thought that was a great feature for WrestleMania. I mean, I don't like how they killed off certain storylines to do this match, a la Goldust and Stardust and a few other ones. However, I mean, you got some great workers in here. Your Ambroses, your obviously Daniel Bryan's, Luke Harper's, R-Truth, Ziggler. So, I mean, it's got all the makings to be a great match. I have no doubt that this is probably going to be one of the more entertaining matches on the card. I think Bryan's going to win. Pretty sure they're probably going to put both mid-card belts on top guys to try to elevate those belts. So But we'll save that for a WrestleMania preview video, my official thought. But yeah, I think it could be one of the more entertaining matches on the card.
Yeah. I know a lot of people are too complaining about, Daniel Bryan being in this match, but I think it's good for him. I think obviously since he got hurt, I think that this is a good match to start him with. Obviously have him in the upper high mid card / low main event for right now. Just don't give him the title, obviously, because we don't know, obviously, if he can. Obviously, injuries reoccur and everything like that. So obviously, we don't want him getting hurt again. So
yeah,
better be safe than sorry.
And hopefully with at least 5 other workers, they can work spots in that are safe. I mean, that's the one danger with a ladder match. Ladder match can be very dangerous, so I'm a little worried about Bryan in that regard. But I do think the work with all this is great. Some younger talent, some been on the roster a while, like R-Truth, but it's going to be different. It's going to be interesting. So I mean, from that standpoint, I can't knock it.
Yeah. And what do you think about the whole title stealing thing? Exchanging thing, I guess everyone's doing. Do you like that concept, or?
I think it's at first I really enjoyed it. I think it's getting a little hokey now, but at first we were doing it, and then Truth and everything else. I mean, poor Barrett, can the guy get his damn title back?
And obviously, I can definitely see Wade Barrett losing at WrestleMania. To who, though? I'm really not sure. I thought it was going to be Dean Ambrose, but they might do something else. They might give it to Luke Harper. They might give it to Daniel Bryan. I mean,
I'm thinking Bryan.
Yeah. And I think Ambrose deserves it the most. I really do. I think that they should have just. I mean, he's definitely going to make the title, so I feel like him or Bryan will do great too. I feel like Dean needs something right now. I really do. I think Bryan will be fine without a title. Dean needs it, I feel like.
I feel like the 2015 Money in the Bank would be perfect for Ambrose to kind of resurrect his career. That's why if he doesn't win the IC title, we'll see what happens to Money in the Bank.
I don't know, though. I feel like Bray Wyatt might win that one this year, because now that I'm thinking about it, especially since if he's supposed to be beating the Undertaker this year too, so there's definitely a couple different people that can win that.
Wyatt's that one X Factor ready-made world champion that they don't even seem to be looking at.
Exactly.
Great in that role.
Dean Ambrose versus Stardust. Now with Stardust and the Goldust thing, I think the reason why they kind of abrupted it was because not only did I think they're trying to make the card obviously smaller, but and more, I guess, the match is a little bit more better, I guess. I don't know how you would say that, but I think it's also just because they're trying to pull out their feud longer. Maybe they will eventually have a Cody Rhodes versus Goldust for the retirement match. Maybe he'll just keep beating Stardust that he will eventually bring out Cody. Because I feel like that would make for a better storyline, and I feel like it would be like, oh, you want your brother back, blah, blah, blah. Well, he is back and he doesn't like you either. Kind of like that.
I could see that. It was interesting because Stardust on a promo after Raw on YouTube a couple weeks ago cut a very interesting promo saying that, look, I'm not just after Goldust. I'm after all these old farts from the Attitude Era that could be in the retirement home. And he even said the 3 names, Mark Henry, Big Show, Kane. So I was like, wow, is this where they're going to take him? Is this going to go after all the old names? That's pretty cool. But they've kind of backed up.
He could be like the retiring person. And, I mean, especially if they bring him back as Cody Rhodes, because Cody Rhodes, I mean, obviously is extremely talented, and he could have been, that's why I think they dropped the ball with that. I actually would have rather had him win the Money in the Bank briefcase than Damian. Because
the way it played out, I agree.
With it, obviously.
I don't think he would have lost it. I think he would have succeeded.
Exactly. And now I feel like it's almost too late because now they got all these newer talents now, and I feel like he's never going to get his chance now. I feel like it's
guys, Cody, Ziggler, who have been on the roster for so long. I mean, it is time to push the youth more, and not just guys like Ambrose are on the roster now, But guys, I mean, I can name 3/4 of the NXT roster who's probably all ready to come up and be showcased. You know, I don't even want to go down that list because there's too many names to mention at this point. But it is time to transition with more younger talent, filter it in there, get rid of the big shows, Canes, and guys like Cody's could get trapped. Like seriously, they could get trapped in the middle, and that's unfortunate because I feel like for guys like Cody and Ziggler, it's kind of been the epitome of their careers.
Yeah. Alrighty. And obviously this was like the thing of the night. Paul Heyman's promo. Obviously, he threw some shots in there about, obviously, Brock Lesnar possibly signing with
UFC.
Yeah, UFC. Or MMA, I guess, is the same thing pretty much. What he said, supposedly this is the word, Brock Lesnar wants to do both at the same time. He wants to have like a light contract with WWE and then have, and I don't think Vince likes that, and I think that was like the whole fight problem, obviously, with the contract about him renewing it. I do think that he is going to end up renewing his contract, but I don't know, I feel like they might change the whole thing on WrestleMania too. I feel like maybe since they I don't think Roman's really that ready right now in his in-ring work. I feel like the guy can't pull more than a 10-minute match without getting tired, kind of like Batista, almost. I know you like Batista. And
matches and that he had an injury coming back to the company.
Yeah,
Achilles.
that's true.
And if you remember, those Shield versus Evolution matches were significantly longer than most of his matches he had.
Yeah, and I think it was better, too, because he was kind of, obviously, when he got to the main roster, he was all in tag team matches and everything like that, so he really didn't work on his single matches, and that's probably now why they pushed him too much, too fast, and now he's kind of like, trying to do all these big matches now, and it's kind of like catching up to him.
Well, I mean, at least Heyman's doing the best he can to make Roman feel like he could win and make Roman feel special. Thank God for Heyman in this equation, because I don't know where Roman would stand without Heyman's very excellent, articulate mic work to really set the stage for this. Great job by Heyman. Great promo as always. The fact that they acknowledge the UFC stuff, and it kind of makes me think that the rumors that we've been hearing could have been leaked by the WWE to make this storyline more believable about him on Raw and the UFC stuff and everything.
And the whole mic cutting off, that was so funny.
Yeah, that was cool too. And I will say that I would love to see Lesnar be a co-champion. I think that would be really interesting for both companies, provide a lot of public relation and publicity for both companies. And it's not like Brock Lesnar would be the first. I know WWE doesn't want to hear this, but Bobby Lashley already does it in TNA with his contract and then fighting with Bellator. So there is a precedent, and if Brock's coming up with negotiations with WWE, he has that to cite, that, like, I know it's TNA and you guys don't give a shit about TNA, but Bobby Lashley does this. Why don't you let me be the first co-champion in wrestling history? Because obviously Bobby Lashley lost the belt in TNA, and fuck TNA and fuck Bobby Lashley. Like that's probably what Lesnar's pitching.
Yeah. And obviously, I still feel like there's some possibilities that could go either way. I think it just depends on Brock Lesnar and Vince and if they can make a deal. Obviously, I think Brock wants to hold the title longer. And Vince, I don't know if he's all about that, especially if he goes to UFC, So, who really knows what's going to happen with that? But Paul, he's just been amazing on the mic, and I think that is just... That's what makes this storyline so good. Obviously, we don't know if the match is going to be good, but at least the build-up to it is good because of Heyman.
I think the match is going to be better than we... First of all, let's consider this out. Lesnar, for the majority of the match, is going to be beating the piss out of Roman Reigns. You going to tell me that's not going to be enjoyable? Number two, Lesnar's the veteran and the heel. He's going to call the match. And Roman obviously, he fought Bryan. That was a good match. You had issues with his pacing. I can't say I disagree with what you said. But paired up with Bryan, Bryan obviously called the match being a veteran, and at least it was a better showcase for Roman than, say, their SummerSlam match with Randy and other showcase matches that we had seen him in. So, and number 3, I mean, even if he wins, there's still that possibility of Rollins cashing in. And I feel like they're trying to make us think that's not possible, which may strengthen Rollins' chances of actually pulling that off.
Yeah, exactly. And, I mean, I know a lot of people are saying that, like, if Roman obviously wins, that it would be pointless for Seth to cash in that night because obviously it would take his moment away. They think it would be better for the night after WrestleMania. But that's been done before. I feel like almost, and I mean, it would be good. I feel like almost a random Raw would be better, but I don't think it should be like the night after WrestleMania. I think it should be like a completely random time.
If he doesn't cash in at Mania, I want him to hold it to as close to the Money in the Bank pay-per-view as possible. Almost like kind of forcing him in the corner to have to cash in at the end because no one's held on. Mr. Kennedy talked about doing it. We all know we lost the briefcase to Edge back in the mid-2000s. But, say he were to wait till the Raw before Money in the Bank or even the Money in the Bank pay-per-view.
Yeah, they could turn it into a storyline.
Yeah, why not? I mean, Rollins' character is a guy who could pull that off, so I wouldn't be shocked if they don't pull the trigger at Mania. That's what they do. They just kind of still slow burn until June.
Yeah, they'll act like it'll be different. There'll be rumors where he'll keep it longer, and then they'll like to try to throw us off, and then he'll still probably cash in. That's probably what they'll do. They always do stuff like that. Ryback and Erick Rowan versus Kane and Big Show. And now Ryback and Erick Rowan, I don't know if they're going to be a tag team now or what, but how do you feel about it? I'm kind of liking it. I think that it's good for both of them, that they're not really doing anything right now. I feel like it could work.
I like them better as a tag team than paired together with Ziggler as a trio, if that makes sense. I'd rather Ziggler be on his own. Look, Ryback's very personable. We all know Rowan's character is very unique, so maybe they could work a Booker T and Goldust kind of tag team out of this. I don't know. Maybe it could be better than Rybaxel. Well, hey, Curtis Axel seems to be doing it himself. But, I mean, I don't hate it. I liked how Erick Rowan had the little R on his jumpsuit, little subtle changes to his appearance, and, Big Show and Kane get the loss. Go home, Big Show and Kane, you're old and drunk.
Yeah, and that's pretty much what Stephanie said. She told them both to go home, and she was sick of them. So, I don't know if they're both going to. I don't know if this is the part of the Authority finally splitting up, because I feel like once Seth, obviously maybe the Randy thing's going to build up too, and he's going to take it out on them too. And I feel like maybe he'll finally go on him by himself. Whether he turns face or not, it really doesn't matter. I still think that the Authority, this is definitely a big sign of the Authority just splitting up.
I think Rollins is doing such a great job as a heel that I would keep him heel for now. I wouldn't put him as a babyface. I think he could get over huge as a babyface, but I wouldn't do. I would almost do a double turn with him and Dean, maybe.
Yeah, he's like CM Punk. I've been saying for a while he could do both. He's great at both, babyface and heel. He can work both.
I feel like he wrestles like a babyface because he's got flashy, high spot-like moves that get the crowd really into it. But his character has gotten better and better as a heel. I think the Jon Stewart thing has really been great for him. Getting some national exposure. And Jon Stewart, I know he wasn't on Raw this week, and that was more last week, but I do want to say, wasn't it refreshing to see a celebrity get host? And we'll get to the celebrity this week. But wasn't it refreshing to see a celebrity get host actually know the product? And,
Exactly, I know. It's crazy. It's because, they'll throw in, it's funny, they used to do it every week, and now they're, doing it, at random spots, wherever I guess they're at in the area. And maybe, they're just trying to be oh, maybe we can get him to, come and do a comedy thing with someone or, and that's pretty much what it was last night. It was just a comedy thing for Damian to obviously get over and build his character more, build his push more, obviously. But, it is what it is, but I think that I think the celebrity thing's just overrated. The Jon Stewart thing was fine. I know a lot of people didn't like it. obviously, my special guest didn't like it last week. But the thing is, I didn't mind Jon Stewart. I think that he was fine last week, and I feel like he did a good job. Him and Seth, especially with Seth coming to his show and everything like that, I thought it was fine. And obviously, he knows the product, like what Joe said. So I think if you can make it work, go for it. But I feel like if they're just going to do it for a comedy thing, it's not going to work.
Well, I mean, you got to. It is WrestleMania, and they usually have some kind of celebrity element at WrestleMania, which you really don't have that. What kind of buzz do you have going into WrestleMania? There's no Rock. There's no, like, Undertaker streak. There's no real big, like, outside kind of, maybe put Arnold in the Hall of Fame, I guess you could say. But, there's no real big outside story. So I think Jon Stewart maybe getting involved in the Seth match in some form or fashion. I think it makes sense. I think he likes wrestling. He actually went to the Money in the Bank pay-per-view in Boston, which I also went to. He's a fan of the product. And most of these guest hosts, they just don't give a shit. They're there to promote something. I mean, he's literally leaving the Daily Show. He's there just to get involved in something cool because he likes wrestling. And I give that a lot of credit. If you don't like it, then you don't understand what wrestling's about. Because go back to WrestleMania 1 with Cyndi Lauper and Liberace and Muhammad Ali. This is what WrestleMania is all about. And there's always going to be somewhat of a celebrity factor. And look, Jon Stewart is a heck of a celebrity. I mean, you can't get much higher than him in terms of someone who, could contribute and have that out of wrestling buzz contributed to it. So that's my opinion on it. I think Jon Stewart did great last week in his interactions. I thought he had a better promo than most of the talent did last week, quite frankly. And, I thought Seth was great going back and forth with him. And, I dig the whole thing. I think it's been great for Seth to get involved with a celebrity like that, especially a celebrity who takes it seriously. Not someone who's just, like, again, there to have a moment, or there to promote something, or there to rap awkwardly.
Yeah.
Yellow.
What? What'd you say?
No, that was
AJ Lee versus Summer Rae. Obviously, this is like the whole. Obviously, everyone was just like, "Oh, it's gonna be a fatal four-way." I knew it was gonna be some kind of tag team match. That's what they do with WrestleMania for the Divas. They always have to have a tag team. The only time that I can remember that it was obviously on the line was last year in a while. Like the past like 5 have been nothing but like tag team, mixed tag team, Divas, everything, anything you can think of. It's just that's what they do. And people are saying that Paige is going to turn. I actually think that AJ might turn.
I'm with you on this one.
Yeah. I have a feeling that I think they need to do this. AJ hasn't been heel for, what, almost a year now?
A couple years, I feel. I feel like it's been he was the GM and the Daniel Bryan storyline.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the whole WrestleMania thing, so, yeah. So I really think that it's time for her to turn heel and leave Paige as your babyface, especially since if, AJ's going to not be here for too much longer. I don't know, though. She always keeps saying that, and she keeps coming back anyway, so it doesn't even matter. But I feel like that's what she needs to do, turn heel, feud with Paige a little bit more, I guess, if you want, have them reverse roles this time and put Paige over and then leave.
I'd love for there to be like a screw job thing for like Sasha and Charlotte and some of the NXT broads that come out and just mess this whole match up, make a statement, kind of like the female Nexus.
That would be funny. I would like that. That definitely would be good.
That's how I'd book it. Just have the NXT girls come out and be like, look, deserve the spotlight. Paige is awesome, but you deserve the spotlight, not you fuckers.
Yeah, exactly. And the Bella Twins aren't even renewing their contract anyways. I don't know if you heard about that. I posted that in the group.
I did hear, although that broke from Total Divas, so I'm not going to take it completely seriously, considering Total Divas is recorded 3 months in advance and somewhat kayfabbed. So I will say, though, it makes sense. I could see Nikki getting into acting. I could see Brie being a mother and focusing on that. So I could see it. And what more can they do? It's been stupid. They ruined the whole storyline by having Brie make up with her sister without any comeuppance or any get back whatsoever. No one cares about them. The only reason they're relevant is because they date main eventers. And, like, there's so many great women having great matches. Charlotte, so, I mean, even someone like Blue Pants I'd rather see than freaking these bimbos. Like, enough is enough. Time for a change. See ya, girl, bye.
Curtis Axel versus Rusev, and obviously, this was just a throwaway match. Obviously, this was just to show, obviously, Xena getting his rematch. Obviously, we can see that, and obviously, he got it from getting Rusev to pass out, which I think should happen. I think that Rusev should pass out instead of tap out. I know the second time he tapped out, but I think if they really want to make his defeated streak, just let him pass out. I think it'll make Rusev still look stronger, and it won't kill him. And obviously, John Cena will still win anyways. But this way, you know, they won't kill a new talent. I feel like Rusev, obviously, they can still use him. And obviously, him and Xena will probably still feud for a few months anyways, obviously, after WrestleMania with his rematch clause and all that. So, especially if he passes out, wins from a pass out. So, I think, I mean, eventually, I guess the tap out would be fine. But for right now, the WrestleMania match, he needs to pass out. If you want to have him tap out later, that's fine, but WrestleMania, tap out. Or WrestleMania, pass out, not tap out.
I'm with you. I think it would really make Rusev's loss mean something, and I love that idea. I think that's great booking. And I will say, wasn't it interesting that came off heelish the way they did this? I mean, it's a heel move. Put someone in submission and make their advocate or manager like give you the match you want out of, like, you know, to save their client. Kind of heelish by Cena. I didn't see them going this route to get this match done. I was trying to figure out how they were going to do it, because it's like, wow, 3 weeks away from Mania and Cena doesn't even have a match. Like, you know, how are they going to figure this out? I'm glad they did it this way. And I will say, Axel, for as crappy as that match itself was at Rusev, the crowd's getting behind him. Gotta give him credit.
It's entertaining. I feel like it's so stupid it's entertaining.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, and I think Mizdow has an element of that too. But you know, look, he's making it's an opportunity, and he's making the best of it. And I just like the Mizdow thing. I love it. Yeah, I mean, it's not him just trying to be Mr. Perfect son. And for his whole career, even when he was Michael McGillicuddy, that's all Curtis Axel has been, is just trying to, like, be a ripoff of Mr. Perfect. Where finally he's got this, like, you know, this different gimmick where he's really sinking his teeth into it. We know he's a good wrestler. Yeah, I mean, that goes without saying. I know he went down to NXT and worked Balor a few months ago. Like, you know, he's trying to keep himself relevant, and I like it. I think he's made the best of an opportunity with this Royal Rumble non-elimination. And, yeah, he's going forward. He's got the little Santino clock going on with how many days since he's been in the Rumble. I like it.
When is it going to stop, too, until next WrestleMania or next Royal Rumble, or is it going to stop at the, I mean, I don't even know. But I don't think it would count if he got eliminated in the Andre the Giant Battle Royal, because it's not the same thing. So I guess it's going to just continue for a whole year until he gets eliminated.
It's going to depend on how the fans really continue to embrace it. I think if the fans really get into it like they did with Mizdow, it's got a chance. It really does.
Yeah. Big E and Xavier Woods versus Tyson Kidd and Cesaro. Now, obviously, they're trying to pull back. I guess they're, what do you call it, tag team turmoil for WrestleMania. And they're just throwing all these random tag teams. Oh, just please let Tyson Kidd and Cesaro just win, because I just...
The Ascension and players are...
No. And the Usos obviously already had it, so...
Haley, were Ascension or Primetime players even on Raw, either one of those teams?
No, they were not. And I don't even know if they're going to be in the the thing. Obviously, right now it looks like it's just Tyson Kidd and Cesaro, Usos, the Los Matadores, and the New Day.
I hate how they're getting Blue Day and Los Jabadores involved in this. Blue Day sucks. Blue Day sucks. Seriously, they don't even deserve to be on media. They've been terrible. I mean, I like all three guys. It's unfortunate how this is playing out. Why not just do a 3-on-3? Usos and Naomi versus Nat and Kid and Cesaro. That seemed like the direction they were building here.
Exactly. They're still feuding, too, because Naomi and Natalya had another match. Obviously, it was pointless, but they're still feuding with each other, so they just had a whole bunch of tag team matches at the end. It's just, I don't know.
I'd rather the villains or freaking
overdoing the tag team matches, in my opinion, last night.
I'd rather Enzo and Big Cass come out than freaking Los Jabadores and Blue Day. Like, come on.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I guess that's pretty much what they're going to do, I guess, at WrestleMania. I don't know if it's going to be like a 4-way tag team or... I feel like they need to put the primetime players in there, too, in the Ascension, but who the hell knows?
Yeah, at this point. Who knows if either one of those teams will even be on the card.
Mm-hmm. Bray Wyatt calls out the Undertaker. And obviously this was the other good thing that happened. Bray definitely, he's so talented. And I was kind of in a debate with someone on this on the group last night. Me and a couple of my buddies were kind of trying to prove him wrong. But obviously the whole Bray Wyatt thing, I just don't understand how someone can not like Bray Wyatt and not think that he's talented. It's one thing to not think that he's scary, but you can't say that he doesn't have great mic skills, and you can't say that he's not amazing in the ring. Like, that's just
that he's not deserving,
behavior, I would say.
And that he's not deserving, Haley, of this opportunity to wrestle the Undertaker at WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
I'm busting his ass. He really I feel like he was the victim of bad booking with the Cena feud last year, and it's taken him about a year to recover from that. And finally, he's back. They should have never split up the Wyatt family either. That was the other stupid thing they did. The Shield splitting up, okay, it was time. They all went off to be single stars in one way, shape, or form. I mean, has this really done Luke Harper and Erick Rowan any favors when you really look at the long-term effects getting up? I wouldn't have broken them up. I really wouldn't have.
Yeah. And obviously with him winning, that's supposedly the word that this is going to be Undertaker's last match, and that's why he's getting in really good shape so he can have a really great last match. And they're saying that Bray Wyatt's going to win. And I actually think that that's great because it doesn't really matter if Undertaker loses anyways, if it's his last match anyways. So, and Bray Wyatt obviously needs it way more than Undertaker. Undertaker's obviously going to put him over, and if Bray obviously gets the second defeat on Undertaker, his career is going to skyrocket.
Yeah. The only way I'd have Undertaker win this match if the plan is Undertaker to have his retirement match against Sting in Dallas next year.
Yep.
Also, it's a lot of logical sense. You could have Sting beat H, and I think that's the one match on the card that's obvious to finish. And you could have Taker beat Bray, and that would build up to that. And I don't think Bray would be hurt by the loss either. I think just this experience will elevate him. But if the plan is for Taker to retire, then yes, have him go under. I agree with that.
Yeah. And Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins and Randy Orton. And obviously, we knew as soon as we seen the clock on this, obviously this match was going to be very short. Obviously, Seth tried to reach for Randy to get his help in the ring, and obviously Randy backed away. And obviously, Randy turned full face last night. Obviously, he technically was face already, but obviously, I guess it made it so it was obviously official last night.
So
and
Randy
he then completely destroyed Seth. It was crazy. Obviously, and then he flipped him off too, and everyone was saying, "Bring back the Attitude Era." That was like the whole, Twitter handle thing going crazy last night. So I
Stone
mean,
Cold Randy Orton. I didn't see the finish live, but I kept hearing that they panned away from him when he chucked the middle fingers up like Austin.
yeah.
That the camera tried to pan at 11:19 at night when the kids shouldn't be in bed. But yet you got Wiz Khalifa talking about like smoking weed and all that stuff in 3 straight. It's interesting what will play and what they won't. Any
Yeah.
thoughts on the Wiz Khalifa thing with Mizdow and everything?
I mean, I'm not really a fan of him anyways, so the Mizdow thing was funny. I mean, I think it was good for his little, I guess, him and Miz's little thing going on and everything. A lot of people think he's going to end up winning the Andre the Giant Battle Royal, and he's definitely my third choice. I think my first choice is Sheamus, then Ryback, and then one of those three. Especially with Sheamus returning, I definitely think, and it's supposed to be a monster heel, I think that's the way they're going to go.
Yeah, I think that's certainly the way to go. Maybe Curtis Axel as a dark horse, but those would be my 3 choices as well.
Oh, that would be so funny if Curtis Axel won. But what would they do with it? You know, he's still not winning matches. He's still, you know.
Yeah.
So I think it would be best for Mizdow. I really do.
Neither did Cesaro after he won the Giant Battle Royal.
Yeah, that's true too. They completely killed that. But hey, at least he's you know, tag team champ now, so he's doing all right now. So.
Exactly. And one other thing, I thought it was so classy for the WWE to do what they did for Connor last night. I don't know if you had any thoughts on that. I was curious on your reaction as to that.
For what?
Putting Connor in the Hall of Fame.
Oh, I seriously, I cried. I'm not even gonna lie. Like he's just every time I see that kid, it brings a tear to my eye. It's so amazing. I loved it. I know a lot of people are like, oh, were they actually going to do this every year and everything like that, or is this just a special thing? I think it's amazing, even if it is just a one-time thing, or if they're gonna try and do this for, you know, a special fan maybe or something.
Warrior's wife Dana tweeted out the Warrior Award is going to be an annual thing.
Oh, that's good.
I don't think it's going to be a sick kid thing every year. I think Connor is the first. I think Connor is the best way to introduce this.
Definitely.
Of all the national exposure this story got and how he was really intertwined with WrestleMania and Daniel Bryan. And really the 2 stars of that WrestleMania weekend, when you look back a year ago, were Warrior and Connor. And tragically, they're both no longer with us. And he really embodied what Warrior tried to stand for, and that fighting spirit and dedication and never give up and all of that. So I think Warrior would be happy. I don't want them to put sick kids in every year. I want this to be the kind of thing where maybe they could give this to Bill Apter one year, who's one of the greatest photographers of all time. Doesn't work for the company, but in my opinion deserves to be in the WWE Hall of Fame for his contribution to the business. Or, you know, Brooklyn Brawler, you know, someone behind the scenes, like, you know what I mean, like, which is what Warrior said in his induction speech about this idea, was like, maybe you could give this, you know, Jim Johnson, the guy who does all the music. So I think that's the way to go about it, but I think to introduce it, I mean, there's got to be a poster child for all this charity work that they do. Not every kid can be the poster child. And I think Connor's the perfect poster child for how he touched the company, how he touched Triple H and Stephanie and Daniel Bryan and everybody. And his dad's going to be there to accept it. I think it's so classy. And I saw a few people say some disgusting comments about this on Facebook.
Oh, I didn't see anything, because if I would have seen disgusting comments.
Majority was positive, and one status I saw, I'm not sure if you were friends with this person, it might have even been Paul Jaser, I'm not even sure who posted this, but it was, oh, if you're not feeling this whole Connor and the Hall of Fame thing, you don't have a soul. And I kind of agree with that in a way. Like, how can you not dig this?
Yeah, I know Paul was for it. Definitely Paul was for it. He was he loved the idea, and so did our friend Bryan. And there was a couple people. Josh liked it a lot, so there was definitely a lot of our friends that liked it. So I didn't see anything bad about it. So
for all the crap that this company does, this is a great thing. It's a great thing to honor the Warrior's memory. And look at how much positives come out of since Warrior squashed the beef. Unfortunately, he died. You know, but There's so much positive that's come out of this, and now for this to be a positive award each year, I think it's great, and I think it's the right thing to do to honor Connor in this way. It's what the Hall of Fame is all about, in my opinion. And if you don't have a problem, if you have a problem with this, then you don't have a pulse.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I just and Stephanie makes me cry all the time too. When I watch that thing, it's so sad. It really is. It's heartbreaking.
It's funny because on Sunday on the network, I had watched that WWE 24/7 on WrestleMania 30, and they talked a lot about Connor there, and then they made the announcement the day after. I also watched the Booker T documentary, which is pretty good on the network. I would recommend anyone who's a fan of Booker T to check that out.
Yeah, I need to catch up on some stuff, especially if we're gonna do that video pretty soon. Alrighty, guys. Well,
by the way,
thank you.
Before you do the exit, big shout out to Chris Sterling and that WrestleMania idea. I love it and looking forward to it.
Yep. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter. And don't forget to join our Facebook group. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to turn into the Strike Zone. I watched a little bit of it last week. Not a huge football person, but I still watched it for you, Joe. And thank you.
Well, I appreciate that, Haley. Thank you very much. And by the way, this week we have former WWE Tag Team Champion Kurt Hawkins calling in at 9:30.
Oh, that's awesome. I definitely got to watch that.
Yeah.
And I will put all the links in the description for you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.